Hi, my name's Carly Shunk. I want to start off by having a 5-second activity of us just being silent and listening, starting now. Did you hear anything? Maybe not. Maybe you did, but what I was talking about was that voice inside your head that was telling you, I'm crazy, or absolutely anything else. That is what my speech is about, and throughout my whole entire time with you, I want you to acknowledge that voice inside of your head because it is so important. It is the number one person that we are having a conversation with throughout our whole entire lives. We are talking with it 24/7, and I think it would just be so amazing if we turn that voice inside of our head to our number one supporter, our biggest confidence boost, and overall just best friend that's super positive. I think this is super important because I am huge into body confidence, body positivity, positive self-talk, knowing your worth, having self-love and body love for yourself. Having a positive self-talk is super important in all of those things because you learn to accept yourself and you learn to not be so hard on yourself sometimes. And I just want to share with you today and help you understand that by having a positive self-talk, it will help you in the long run to be mentally in a better state than you were before. So today I'm going to share with you what a negative self-talk looks like, how it feels, how it can be damaging on you, but also how to get out of that by practicing positive self-talk and how that will help you throughout your whole entire lives. So what negative self-talk is any diminishing thought that comes into your head and tells you that you cannot reach your potential. What self-talk is in the first place, I got this from dictionary.com, but I also learned this in human comm class, is that it is the verbal and nonverbal communication that happens with yourself on a day-to-day basis. So having the negative of that is what I already said. A few examples, there are grounded thoughts, downright mean thoughts, and fear-based fantasies. I will give you an example of each of them, and they start from least negative, I guess. That's a double negative. I have no idea how to word it, to the most extreme. A grounded thought is you saying to yourself, I'm not going to take part in this activity because this person can do it better than me, so why would I even try? Harmless, we tell ourselves things like this every single day, and it's kind of whatever. A downright mean thought is, I can't do anything right ever. It's pretty rude. Also, we tell ourselves things like this all the time, and it's completely normal. But I want to help us stop being so hard on ourselves. And lastly is a fear-based fantasy, which starts off with you not knowing what you're doing for the homework, which turns into you not knowing what you're doing for the quiz, and then the big test comes up and you think you're going to fail, and then if you do fail, you'll probably fail the class, and then once you fail the class, then none of these colleges are going to look at you, and your future employers are going to think that you're stupid, and then your whole life is ruined. And that gets me to how this can be so manipulative and compulsive. It's easy to start from a small thing and work your way up. I've been there so many times, and there's so many people that I talk to, all my friends, they tell you things and you're like, calm down, you're overreacting. And it's those negative thoughts that just eat at us all day long, and it takes a huge toll on our mental health. Things that it can do with our mental health is we can focus too much on negative thoughts, and it causes us a lack of motivation, feelings of helplessness, huge amounts of stress on our bodies and our minds, which ultimately could lead to depression. And all the things I listed are absolutely terrible. And I know I'm not the person that's going to cure you from anything, but these little steps could help in the big picture and in the long run. Now, this is where I get to talk about positive self-talk, and the main thing, the thing that is most important. Now, positive self-talk is exactly the opposite of those negative things, and I'll take a few negative self-talk scenarios and turn them to positive. And this is a practice that we can all put into our daily lives to really help us. For starters, I'll start off with me saying, I hate this. Now, the exercise that we can do here is taking an intense word and changing it to a less intense word. By doing this, you are making that word have less of an impact on you, less control over you, and overall you have more control over the situation and you don't feel so weighed down by all the negative hate that's going on. So instead of saying, I hate this, or I hate myself, you can say, I really dislike this, or you know what, I'm not too satisfied with how I am right now, but I can change. Another practice that we can do is treating ourselves the way that we would treat our friends. Maybe if you're being super hard on yourself, it's hard to do at the same time, but try to take a step back and think, would I talk to my best friend this way? Or I know we can be hard on our best friends, but would you talk to someone else this way out loud? And if not, just take a deep breath and try starting over again. By doing this, we can lighten up the mood and take off those extra layers of stress that are just weighing us down. And in the long run, by practicing positive self-talk and having more optimism throughout life, this can be a huge stress management tool that we can use to last a lifetime. Also, there has been scientific studies done by the Healthline and scientists and researchers that say that people who have positive self-talk have mental skills that allow them to solve problems, think differently, and be more efficient at coping with hardships throughout life that you get that are thrown at you. And so overall, you're just gonna be a happier person is the main goal for me to help you guys with. So I've talked about what having negative thoughts is and what it feels like, what are some situations where you might have those thoughts, but I've also shown you some practices to help you lean more towards being positive, and it'll take a while and it's hard sometimes, but I want us to know and want you to know that actually having a positive self-talk will help you in the long run to be happier and mentally healthy with yourself. And if I can share that with you, I would love to.